What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the next episode slash installment slash whatever you want to call it of the 80 Trans Am pace car restoration that I'm putting a 78 nose on. Now, in the previous episode, you guys click up in these two corners. I finally figured out how to do that. So clicking up in these two corners, and I should turn on loudest book. Click on those two corners for the previous installment where I went over the, oh my god, my camera's blinking red, where I went over pretty much the basics and all that kind of stuff. So this video is going to be primarily over what is updated from that. Like I mentioned before, that door that I wasn't sure on, like the condition of it underneath, past what the video showed. I didn't know anything else past that. I think I mentioned previously in the other video, this Reproduction Fender right here for it. There was actually some issues with that. That will be going over in this video, hopefully before this thing dies. So let's just get right into it before it actually decides to die. All right, guys, so focus please. Right off the bat, we did end up stripping the door. Now I'm not gonna touch it because I have, like, you know, clammy hands, and it will make surface rust where I touch it. But this piece right here that we cut off, if you guys remember in the previous video, this is that same door, that same white door. You guys can see all this down here. Now we did end up taking this piece off. You can see the extent of the damage right there. And once we took it off, we realized, now it's half-assed remade as of right now, but I'll put some pictures on the screen right now. This whole bottom lip right here was also gone because these doors work as almost like a sandwich piece. You have your under layer and your top layer right here. So you guys can kind of see it right here, the two separate layers right there. So the top layer was bad and the bottom layer was bad right in that region. Also in here, you see where those welds are, it was also gone in there. So we had to remake this piece right here. Again, not perfect, but you don't even see this piece because this piece right here, once we remake this one lays on top of it like so. All right, so it kind of like, you can get the point. It lays on top, you know, seamless to this. And then this lip, there's a lip that comes around. So again, you don't even see this piece right, you don't even see this piece right under here. Only piece you see is right here. This piece. So it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to, you know, serve its purpose and be at least close, which is not looking bad right now. As you guys can see, this is the old material right here. This is the new. It's not perfect, clearly. Not perfect at all, especially right there. But it will do. It will do for what we're doing. Other stuff with this door, you could tell previously in its life, I don't know exactly when, but if you guys can see all these little pinholes right here, massive dent down the whole side of the door. And what they used to do, and still do sometimes, is they rivet holes in it. They put rivets in it, and then they use a dent puller, and they just walk it out, and then they used to just slap body filler over it, because people they just drove these cars. It wasn't really like a big, nobody like really restored these cars, they were just driven. Right here around the mirror, where the mirror mounts to it, it's also low. You guys can see it says low right there. This mess up here, we're just gonna weld this, grind it smooth. Down here, I believe this is also, yes, I believe this is, yes, that is also rust. Probably have to cut that out. You can see it starting to bubble through a little bit, actually. Overall, not a really terrible door. Definitely could have been better, like this door right here that I've already repaired. This door was like a cakewalk compared to this one. This thing had, I don't think I had any rust repair on this one. It was just dent pulling. Like literally, that's all it had. I was so lucky with this door. And thank God for that other trunk lid that I was able to attain, because mine, I don't know where it is exactly, but it's done. You don't want to use that. Now, on with this fender right here. Hold before the camera dies. This is the passenger side front fender, which on my original Trans Am I was gonna use, but then somebody actually, I don't have a picture of it because it was a very long time ago, I actually took it off and was working on it. Somebody used a stop sign as a patch piece, my bad, for sale sign, as a patch piece for, I believe it was up in here. Up in this region right here, if you guys can see. They used a patch a freaking stop sign and body filler to patch this region right here, this rough region. So that was just like, wow. Like, really, dude? They dead ass did that, and like, I really didn't feel like making a massive patch again on that fender. I don't even know where that fender went, honestly. Like I said, guys, this has been in the works for a decent time here, but I've actually decided to now start, you know, get cracking on it. But we did get this Reproduction Fender. It was actually for a different Trans Am in the shop here, but they decided to go with something else. So we got this fender, luckily. But the sucky part about it is it was it's a Chinese repop fender. So they're not gonna be perfect. Especially, this one was far from perfect. I'll show you guys. As you guys can see right here, this is the vent. Obviously all the Firebirds have this. Well, the Trans Ams have this, I mean. I'm pretty sure all the Firebirds have it, but if you guys can read our note down here, that's stupid. You guys are gonna be looking upside down on your screen, but it pretty much says, the opening was misplaced and this vent will not fit. This vent did not fit at all. We had to do a decent amount of modification. You guys can't really see it. It's inside here. But eventually we did get it to fit. Same thing with the side marker up here. Did not fit at all. Like, first off, it didn't even fit in the cove it was made that they stamped into this door. It didn't even fit in the cove, for one. And for two, once we got to fit, it wasn't straight at all, crooked as shit. So we had to work through all that. Finally, it took a few hours, but we did get it looking good. It looks pretty damn good now. And then we were like, what the hell? Let's see if the inner fender actually fits in it. It fits in it. Like, what the hell? No modification. They actually did one thing right on this fender. I'll be damned. But then again, the Chinese can't make anything right, apparently. So they didn't. I believe this was for when they took this fender for reference. I believe they used a like a Camaro fender, which didn't have a cove right here. The Trans Ams have a cove right here that goes into the door. This one does not have that, as you guys can see. No cove at all. So we're gonna have to somehow make a cove literally out of nothing. And then finally, after the door's done and the freaking fender's done, then finally we can get to work on the actual car over here. The car isn't really like, too bad condition, but it's not the greatest. I told you guys in the previous video, I did fix the tail panel. It was actually a while back, I fixed it. Hood's ready to go, hood's been ready to go. This fender's ready to go. All in that yellow polyester I was talking to you guys about, damn flat tire. But a lot of times where these cars are funky is especially around the T-top region, because these things always leaked. Prime example. I guarantee when I pull this little piece of weather stripping off, this entire channel is gonna be rusty, at least to a degree. Down here, it's just gone. Like, there's nothing here. Some surface rust. Thick ass paint they used back then. If you guys can see, look at that. Come around, some dings. I think this is actually from when somebody went to go put the T-top in, they missed and it just dented it in right there. It probably looks like what it would be. This region, actually behind the glass on the firewall, actually, like right up in here, right at the bottom. A lot of these Firebirds tend to rust right there. Somehow mine is okay. I think there's a little tiny spot over here. Right in there, if you guys can see it. Hang on. You guys can see that right in here. That is actually rust, if it's hard for you guys to tell. That is indeed rust down there, especially in this little pocket right here. Hopefully shouldn't take too extremely long to actually get this car sanded in primer. When I sand the physical car itself, I'm probably gonna do a time lapse for you guys, because that's a big main part of the car. So that's probably gonna do it for today's video, guys. Just another update. Definitely, obviously, guys know to stay tuned for more of this Trans Am content. I'm thinking, like I said before, it's really difficult for me to, I'm really trying to get at least a video per week, but it's extremely difficult. With the time of year and the content that I can actually put out for you guys, it is very difficult, so hang with me here. I'm trying my hardest right now, and it doesn't look like it, but trust me, I am. Like I said, that's probably gonna do it for today's video, guys. Hope you all love the video. Stay tuned for more Trans Am content and other content with the Monte Carlo coming out relatively soon here. And all the other, fun stuff, the Cobalt, motorhome, if any of you guys give a shit about that, probably not. But anyways, I want to thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'll see y'all in the next one.